Right, g'day everyone. Today we're going to do a short video doing some spraying with the CowanSim Hughes 500E using a plugin that I've had for a little while called Airspray. And the CowanSim, the last update they put out for the 500E came with a Spraykit. Now it's got all its own spray effects and that, so I'm going to see if it works with the Airspray add-on. So we've set up on a custom scenery little farm we've got where I actually grew up on up in the far north out at Kirikiri. So we'll jump in now and we'll spray a few paddocks. Hang on, I'll just grab my tablet out of the back seat there. Alright, jump in. Set this up, we'll just get that out of the way. So we're here. Right, battery on. I'll turn it off for a second, I'll just get the Airspray plugin running. So we go to start, stop Airspray. So it's like a little accessory plugin you can just run while you're flying. We'll put that. I don't want to block any of the other instruments out, so because it has a little bit of information on it, so maybe I'll stick it just here, and I'll lift my map up a bit. I haven't actually used it for a wee while, this Airspray one, but maybe I see what it. So we're going to do crop dusting, which is because weed control, it just gives you, it randomly deploys spots of weeds around the place which you can only spray on top of them. Black fly one you've got to spray over water. Mosquito one's more of a low spray rate over large areas like over cities and stuff. So we'll do crop dusting because it's the same as it applies to spraying as well. But so at the moment we've got full tanks. I'll just put them at 75. We'll take half tanks just for the first load, just to get a bit of a feel for it. So what happens with this, it's quite a clever little mod. As soon as you start the engines, the net profit is going to start going to the negative and start winding down. And obviously the more time you're spraying and covering the ground, then it'll start going the other way. So you obviously want to minimize wastage of downtime and making your turns too wide and long. And this another cool feature that this little app does is it sort of puts an overlay on the ground to sort of show where you've been. I mean, it's probably not fully realistic because not unless you're using some sort of foaming agent or something, but it's kind of cool when you're just doing it for practice in the sim. So we'll just put this here for now. Don't need to see any of that for now. Right, okay, we'll get started. Got enough fuel on for a couple of runs. You can see the clock's already winding down with the profit because the turbines are in it. Real time and weather, so we'll see. It's quite early in the morning, but we'll see if it's hopefully it's not too windy. Set up my button for the spray release on my joystick, so that's all sorted. Okay, we'll generator on. This little scenery is one my brother made up the farm I grew up on, and it's got a little truck here you can land on the top of to fill up with. I see we've got a bit of a wind, it's coming almost crosswind there today to the truck, but you can land on the top of it and pretend that's your loading zone. Otherwise, land on the middle of the tank loop down there below us. So we'll go out now and we'll start doing some spraying and show you how this plug-in works. So we'll start on this paddock. So we'll start spraying. I'm spraying now. See it coming out. Come back down for another run. Okay, so I'm going to have to sort this out on the next run. Is what it's doing is it's not actually releasing any spray because it's not the same. I've got the button set up for the CowanSim's 500E spray system, which releases the particle effect, but it's not actually operating the Airspray plugin by the look of it. So it's obviously hasn't been updated to work with it yet. So I'll just come back around here and do a land beside the tank loop. Sit here for a second, and I just need to change my configuration here to the Airspray one, which will be just here. Actually, I need to change this as well, so it's on a joystick. I've got my button set up. So I've got it as spraying, toggling the Spraykit on and off, which is button 6 there. But it's not going to do the Airspray one, so what I'll do is I'll set up a separate button, because then I can still have the spray effect. So if I go done, I'll change it to that one. Where's the Airspray? These are a lot easier to find, not in VR. Here we go. Generic spray switch on and off. Okay, let's resume the flight. Lost my tablet. Okay, we're good to go. So, lift off now. So now if I operate the Airspray mod in conjunction with my 500E spray release, you should see an effect underneath the helicopter. So I'll come around the corner here. Okay, it should be spraying now. See on the little tablet there, it'll say it's spraying. I don't want to look down too much here, I'm going to be concentrating. Okay, spray off. And you'll see it's left a bit of an overlay over the ground behind us. Okay, spray on. Drifting a bit here with the crosswind. Probably actually too much wind here to be spraying here. Okay, spray off. Yeah, see I overlapped it way too much on that one. And spraying on. Spray off. Better. Spray on. It's quite a strong wind. Spray off. Spray on. Spray off. The only thing I noticed with this Airspray plugin, the sort of the sowing rate, or the sort of the decreasing amount of the spray itself, the product doesn't happen fast enough, and I've yet to find out how I can adjust that so that it can be more accurate to the type of machine we're flying. Oh, there's spray down here, spray on, spray off. Spray on, spray off. Okay, I've got to learn quite a lot more practice of this sort of thing, but you get the idea of how cool this app is for practicing and just doing your different runs. Do a longer run this time. Spray on. Go right across to this tree line here. Spray off. I love doing these big turns at the end of the runs. Spray on. That wind's pretty much howling across here. Spray off. Spray on. We're a little bit wild here. And the other thing with this spray application, I'll just do it in as an example, is if you are too high, not enough of the spray will hit the ground and it won't actually do the effect on the ground, or it'll have it. If I start spraying here, it's saying it's not doing anything because we're too high up. It's just dispersing before it hits the ground essentially, so we'll shoot back for another load even though it hasn't actually gone down. I'm sort of just running it on a half a tank all the time with this because it's so inaccurate. It's decreasing range. It's not. It'd be cool if you could have it do it at maximum weight and then disperse over say 2 or 3 minutes, but it takes probably half an hour to empty a tank, which isn't really realistic. Landing, but yeah, this has got a lot of room. The actual footprint area on this little pad on this truck is probably a little too small. It's not even to the extent of what you can see here. It's probably not exactly designed for this. I think it's just a model my brother made with the helipad sort of stuck on the top of the truck. But probably should make a proper model for it, I reckon. Quite neat. Okay, so we'll go again. See, we've only made $19 profit there so far. We'll go down the bottom of the valley here and we'll do a paddock down there, so we'll lift it off. Turn into the wind a little bit here to get some lift. Out over the effluent pond. Over the other effluent pond, looks like some cows in that paddock. Spray on through here. Probably if I was going to be really doing this farm, I think I'd be doing pick a boundary and then just work inside lines from the boundary, doing long runs, cutting it on and off over the bits of areas of bush. I'll give an example here. This is one of the boundaries of the farm, was just here against this scrub block. Just line up. And the thing is, we've got to get down to the height too, which is going to be a little bit tricky in here. So we get down low, spray on, spray off, spray on, spray off, spray on. Go up around these trees, spray off, spray on. Spray off. Come over this lot. That block there with the sort of pine trees that are taller at it will probably be doing it in a different direction. I think we probably have to go down and amongst it. Have a go. Spray on. Probably have to dial the spray rate back a little bit in a block like this, just so that you can go a little bit slower instead of doing the usual try and do 40 knots. Be a little bit more, having to be a little bit careful in here. How did that look? Oh, we got an outside run round in there. Do another one. Here. Spray on. So you can see a little block like this, a little bit more of a work required to. Not as efficient as the long runs. One down there where I missed. Spray off. Around here. Spray on. Spray off. Pretty much done, that little bit there to go. And obviously with practice it get better and better, hopefully, at getting your lines a bit straighter, and probably doing them without as much wind on will probably help. So we'll head back to the truck and park up, and we'll call that it for this little short video. And to clear that stuff on the ground, the overlay the plug-in puts on there, it's just a matter of going down the bottom there and you can just push reset or erase the overlay. I'm going to try and set up a spray system for the squirrel next time. I'm going to do a video with that. Okay, sit down. And if you watch now, we only made 45 bucks, and it's still ticking down because we're still running. We sprayed 12.9 acres at a pace of 77 acres per hour, which is probably not very efficient, but and as you can see, the spray level hasn't actually gone down much at all because the spray rate on it is not very accurate. It's something I'm going to look at and see if I can figure out if there's a way to change it. Okay, we'll shut down. Reset my controller here. It's just having a bit of a as you can see, having the little map up here is quite good for seeing which areas you've covered and which ones you haven't. If you're not using the Airspray mod, if you're just using just the straight particle effect, the fact if I can get the Airspray mod to work with accurate weight reduction, so it's full when you take off, nearly all up weight, and then it reduces down to it's empty at a more accurate thing, would give you a lot more realistic feeling for that when you're unloading the product, and have different handling tendencies and that in the wind and more drift and all the rest of it. Oh well, I guess that's us for this time. See you on the next one.